Let's talk about viewing option chains and placing option orders. We're specifically referring to outright option orders. We'll talk about spreads in a different tutorial. This tutorial is based on the DT Option Trader page that we have designed for our brokerage clients. Again, if you're a DeCarly trading client or if you're using a demo with our brokerage, please send me an email and I will make sure you have access to this page. It'll look exactly like this or pretty similar. We've kind of updated as we go as we find that certain things work better and certain features are better for most of our clients. But it should look very similar. Once again, on this option trading page that we've built, we have everything linked together. Notice everything has a blue dot, matching color blue dot. And this means if I click on natural gas in my quote board, my option chain toggles to natural gas. If I click on crude oil, my option chain also goes to crude oil. This should make it very easy to navigate through the markets. I have tabs for each futures product category, interest rates, currencies, metals, grains, even softs. So you can easily toggle between markets, locate the market you want to find an option for, click on it, and pull up the chain from there. Now keep in mind the chain is based on which underlying futures contracts options are written against. So in this case, we're looking at January crude oil. In other words, the options that are listed, all of the expirations listed are written against the January expiration. So if we wanted to trade an option that had an expiration in the future, let's say June, July, March, whatever it is that we want to do, we would need to change the underlying contract to March, June, or July so that the options for those particular futures contracts would populate. For now, we're just going to look at the front month. The front month, currently January, has several options available for trading. These are various expiration days. For example, crude oil has options that expire multiple times per week, and we have access to all of them. So if you click on this chain here, it's going to show you options that expire tomorrow. You'll notice it has 0D, 1D, 4D, 5D. That's days to expiration. Below that, you'll see the expiration date, November 22nd. And you're also going to see the symbol of that particular option. CLE4 means it's a week 4 option. I suspect most of our clients are going to trade traditional monthly options, and if that's the case, you're going to want to toggle to the monthly options. You can locate them by identifying symbols that do not have numbers at the end. So for instance, if we click on this drop-down menu here, it's going to show us all the different expiration dates for the January crude oil. I'm going to click on CLEF25. That's the monthly option. December 16th is the expiration date. And just like any other option chain, you're going to see a list of strike prices down the center with puts on the right, calls on the left. Some chains are swapped, and I suspect you can change your settings here. If you click on the 3 dots, just like any other window in this platform, you can manage your columns. You can unselect European if you only want to see American options and vice versa. So you can do plenty of customization if you don't like what we've done for you. And I will say that I have the Greeks displayed here. The data is not populating because it's a demo account, and a live account they would. If you don't like the Greeks to be taking up all the real estate, obviously you can remove them. You don't have to have them. And you can rearrange these windows. If you, again, go to Manage Columns, if you wanted the Greeks to be on the end instead of the beginning, or however you want to do it, you could customize them that way. A few things of note. There's a little cheat sheet up here. The U price is the underlying futures price, and it's 70.21. We can also see that in our quote board because the way that we've built this page makes it very easy to view the option chain while we're watching the futures market move, so we can adjust accordingly. But if you'd like to use this, you can too. ATM strike is 70. That's telling us that an at-the-money strike is 70, and you can see the market's at 70.21. There isn't a 70.21 strike or a 70.25 strike, so the closest is 70. This is considered at the money. I'll point out that you can see the bid-ask very clearly here. Again, if you'd like the bid-ask to be closer to the center of the chain, you can certainly do that. We can easily rearrange all of these columns. If you wanted to buy or sell, you could right-click on the price of the option. Let's say you wanted to buy or sell the 70 call. Right-clicking will allow us to choose if we want to buy or sell it. If we choose buy, it's going to populate an order entry ticket. We could choose, if we wanted to use a dome panel to place our order. I don't recommend using market orders for options. It's just generally a bad idea. You might get quite a bit of slippage, and that's not even the problem. The biggest problem is in certain commodities and in certain market conditions, the exchange will just reject the order. They'll just kick it back because they're not accepting market orders if there's not a tight bid ask and plenty of volume to absorb the order. In my opinion, it's just not worth the hassle. If you're in a rush to buy or sell something, you can buy the ask or sell the bid, but don't enter a market order because there's a chance it'll get rejected. That said, if you really wanted to use the DOM, you could do it. There's market orders here. Again, I don't suggest those, but if you put your cursor over the price, the ask for this option is $232, the bid is $228. And then once we put our cursor on it, we have the option to either buy, option no pun intended, we can buy or sell. So we can enter an order to buy the ask and it's going to get filled right away. If we put our cursor over the bid, we also have the option to buy or sell at the bid. Another way to place orders on this is to put your cursor in the white bar. You'll see how there's a red and green dot. Those are buy and sell indicators. If I click, it will place an order at that price. I'm going to go back to the traditional order entry ticket. This is what I would recommend most of our clients use. I think it's a little more straightforward, less error prone. So if we wanted to buy this option, we can see that the ask is currently $231. In this platform, they call it offer. At OFF is offer. The bid is $228. So if we wanted to ensure that we got a fill, we could click this button. We're buying the ask. If we wanted to sell the option and we wanted to make sure we got a fill, we could sell the bid. If we wanted to name our own price, just like the futures order entry ticket, we can toggle up or down. We can change our quantity. If we were using the stipulations up at the top of the order entry window, we would use this giant bar at the bottom to submit the order. If we were buying at the offer, we would use this button. If we were buying at the bid, we would use this button. If we were going to do a market order, again, not recommended, this is the button we would use. Unfortunately, because this is a demo account, I'm unable to completely execute an option order, so you're not going to be able to see what it would look like, but I can kind of walk you through it. Any option that you are interested in trading or have traded and want to follow easily without pulling up an entire chain and toggling through the expirations and locating exactly what it is you're trading, left click on the symbol in the chain and choose Add to List. I have an options list that I've created, and so that's where I'm going to add it. And once I do that, if I click on my options tab in my quote board, I should be able to locate this option, and it's right here. So going forward, if I'm trading this particular option and I have it in my quote board, I can very quickly navigate to it. I can place trades using the quote board itself. I would be able to see buys and sells, open position, and P&L right here in the quote board for this particular option. Again, it's a demo, so these features aren't going to be visible, functional in this particular demo. But if you were in a live account and you were long or short this option, you would see all of the information you needed to see regarding that position right here in your quote board. Similar to the other windows that we've shown in previous tutorials, this window has a built-in positions window. So if I were long this option, I would be able to see it here in my positions tab. If I had a working order in any of these options, I'd be able to see it here in my orders tab, just like I can my futures orders. Obviously, there's a working order tab. The orders tab, for clarification, is going to show you orders of any status, filled, working, canceled. Very similar to what we saw on the other pages. And if we just wanted to look at our fills outright with hardly any detail, but the simple stat sheet, we could click on this column here or this tab here and do it that way. Any widget that you have highlighted, you can click on the three dots, manage your columns, and change settings. Just like the other windows, there are full screen icons. If I click on full screen, it covers up my option chain, but now I can see each of these widgets in all their full glory. The account summary tab obviously is going to show us all of our account details, our margin information. We can also view our account information in a visual format, numeric format, our positions, so on and so forth. We'll go through a trade really quickly one more time just to make sure you've got it. So if we're going to trade natural gas options, I'm going to click on January natural gas from my quote board. That's going to pull up a natural gas option chain, and I can toggle between expiration dates here. The traditional monthly expiration, 35 days to expiration, expires on December 26th is this one. So I'm going to click on that. In this page, I did add a monetary value column. It will help you to calculate the actual value of that option in dollars rather than premium. You can see that the 350 call is 32 3/10 at 33 cents. We can see that the monetary value of this is about 3,100. So we know that 33 is 3,300. 3230 is 3,230. So it gives us a really good idea without us having to do the math on a calculator or in our head. This column shows us the total volume for today, the open interest, and the last trade or settlement price. If we were interested in trading this option, we could right click and buy or sell. We can also add it to our list. You can create your own list if you'd like. You can create a new list with your own symbols. I'm going to put it into my option list and click OK. Once it's in my option list, find it in my quote board. I can locate it. And once highlighted, I could place a trade using these buttons in the quote board. I could also right click and choose buy or sell here. Enter my parameters and then submit the ticket with this button. One last thing to point out, within the options quote tab, I have an expiration column. This will tell us when those options expire. That way we're not guessing. We know exactly when our options expire. You may want to only keep positions in this options tab and maybe have another options tab for markets or options that you're following, but not necessarily trading. That way you can very easily look at your positions, your buys and sells, your open P&L, and the expiration date right here. Of course, you could get the same information on your positions window. Again, it's a demo, so unfortunately I can't show you this, but you'll see there is an expiration date column here. If we had some option positions, it would show us our P&L, our entry price, so on and so forth, and the expiration.